Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain an American horror supernatural film from 2022, titled The Long Night. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. The movie opens in New York, where we meet Grace, a young woman who has been searching for her real family for years. One day, she receives a call from Frank Caldwell, an investigator claiming to have information about her parents. He asks her to visit his isolated plantation home in the Deep South to discuss further, warning her about snakes before hanging up. Grace's boyfriend Jack startles her, questioning Frank's ability to find her real parents, and despite Jack's doubts, Grace believes in Frank's abilities. Jack then surprises Grace by expressing his desire to introduce her to his parents, which delights her, and they share a moment of affection. The next day, the couple sets off on their journey to meet Frank Caldwell. Along the way, they stop at a local gas station, where Grace notices a satanic symbol on a dustbin but doesn't think much of it. After getting what they need from the store, and as they drive away, the cashier and two women at the station laugh at them. Deep into the forest, the lovers finally arrive at Frank Caldwell's house, which is surrounded by numerous lakes. Upon their arrival, Grace and Jack discover Frank's isolated plantation home empty. However, Grace remembers where Frank told her she could find the key during their last conversation. Inside, they call out for Frank, checking if he might be in the bathroom or asleep, but there's no response. They notice various animal heads decorating the walls, and Jack complains about a foul smell lingering in the air. They explore behind the house, finding only a pond and a lawn. Later, Grace decides to venture into the woods for a jog while Jack stays behind to unpack their belongings to the house. Along her path, Grace encounters a snake on the road, prompting her to turn back. Meanwhile, Jack heads into the woods where he comes across a strange totem among some trees, near the house. Back at home, Grace receives a call but hears only strange static noises. She heads to the kitchen for a glass of water and glimpses a figure outside the window, followed by a snake that startles her, causing her to drop the glass and injure her foot on the broken pieces. Upon a second look, the figure has vanished. When Jack returns home, he finds Grace injured on the floor and helps her upstairs. While removing the glass from her foot, Jack reveals what he saw in the forest, a totem, which Grace explains is used to ward off evil spirits. As Jack tries to remove the last piece of glass, Grace screams, prompting Jack to fetch the first aid. After bandaging Grace's leg, Jack suggests they leave the isolated plantation due to the strange occurrences, but Grace insists they stay because there's something about the house that draws her in. Later that evening, while Jack is in the bathroom, Grace falls into a troubled sleep. The lights begin to flicker, and Grace dreams of a woman floating in the air. Suddenly, a robed cultist wearing a cow skull mask appears, and with a gesture, a snake approaches Grace as she remains in a trance-like state, and her eyes turn white. Meanwhile, Jack finishes his bath and tries to leave but discovers the door is locked. He calls out for Grace, unaware of what's happening. He eventually manages to open the door, finding Grace emerging from her trance, and Jack insists they leave immediately, sensing that something sinister is at play. After settling Grace in the living room, Jack heads upstairs to retrieve their bags. Upon his return, he informs Grace that he couldn't find their phones, which Grace recalls leaving in the bedroom. As Jack opens the front door to put their bags into the car, he discovers a mutilated cat lying in the middle of a six-pointed star made of blood, causing them to retreat back inside. In a state of distress, Jack harms himself with a poker before heading outside again to fetch the car. However, the car refuses to start, and he is startled by the sight of a figure wearing a cow mask standing in front of the car. Upon returning to the house, Jack and Grace find it surrounded by robed cultists wearing skull masks, holding torches in eerie silence before they retreat indoor. Peering through the window, Jack spots the cultists still lingering outside. They move to the kitchen and discover the satanic symbol drawn in blood on the window. Jack settles Grace in the living room and goes to secure the back door when he hears a telephone ringing. Answering it, he is met with a voice threatening him, demanding he surrender Grace, or he won't live to see the sunrise. Jack promptly ends the call, shaken by the ominous message. In the living room, Grace blames herself for their predicament when suddenly they hear a loud banging on the front door. Jack arms himself with a poker as the banging persists. When the door finally opens, it's Frank's brother, Wayne, who has come to the house. Grace explains that Frank invited her there to help find her parents. Suspicious of the strangers in his brother's home, Wayne goes outside to retrieve his phone from his truck and attempts to call the sheriff but encounters the same strange static Grace and Jack heard earlier. Upon turning back, he's startled to see the cult and warns them to leave his property before heading inside. Jack inquires about a gun, and Wayne leads them upstairs to search for it. Grace questions Wayne about the cult, and he confesses that locals have heard rumors about a cult but insists that neither he nor Frank are part of it. In another room, while searching for the gun, they stumble upon a door left slightly open. Opening it, they are met with the grisly sight of Frank Caldwell's lifeless body. Angered and determined, Wayne grabs a rod and storms outside to confront the cultists, with Grace and Jack watching from the window. As Wayne prepares to strike, the cult master freezes Wayne in place with supernatural power, before gruesomely breaking his bones. The other cultists mercilessly slash Wayne to death as he struggles back toward the house, eventually collapsing on the staircase, leaving Jack and Grace in shock. The cults proceed to burn a wooden star symbol on the lawn, and Grace suddenly convulses, entering a trance and experiencing a series of unsettling visions. With Jack's help, she eventually snaps out of her trance. They realize the cults could enter the house if they wanted to but haven't, adding to their suspicion. Jack decides to search upstairs for the gun once more, and this time he finds a pack of shotgun bullets. At the same time, Grace enters the room where Frank's body lies and locates her ringing phone nearby. It becomes clear that the cults are aware of Grace's identity and have a specific agenda involving her. Grace's scream draws Jack's attention, and he rushes to her side, comforting her amidst the grim discovery. While consoling Grace, she notices something behind Frank's body. It's the shotgun Wayne had been searching for. Together, they head upstairs to load the shotgun with bullets they found earlier. However, their efforts are interrupted by an attack from a cultist who incapacitates Grace and locks her out of the room, and Jack struggles against the cultist, facing imminent danger. In a desperate moment, Grace manages to break into the room and shoots the cultist with the shotgun, ending the threat and causing the master cultist to scream in anguish outside. Grace and Jack stumble upon an occult grimoire detailing the legend of Actina, an ancient serpent demon that once corrupted Christian pilgrims into worshipping it. The evil spirit of Actina is believed to be trapped on the land where the plantation stands. According to prophecy, Actina's followers will return to free the demon, with the master possessing a perfect child capable of hosting the demon. The ritual to unleash Actina must take place on the vernal equinox, initiating the long night. Suddenly, the cultist Grace previously shot rises and stabbed Jack from behind, but Jack retaliates, and they both exit the room only to encounter another cultist within the house. As Jack attempts to reload the gun, he is assaulted, and Grace intervenes in the fight. To Jack's astonishment, Grace becomes consumed by rage and beat the second cultist to death using a wrench. Filled with anger, Grace storms outside with the shotgun to confront the cults. However, the master uses his power to control Grace, lifting her into the air. Just in time, Jack arrives and retrieves the gun, shooting at the cults, and break Grace's trance, before they quickly retreat indoors. Deciding to escape through the back door when they see no sign of the cults, Jack, injured, urges Grace to flee into the forest without him. After a moment of hesitation, Grace decides to go, sharing a kiss with Jack before leaving. However, the cults eventually find Jack at the back of the house. Jack swings the gun at them to keep them at bay, but they manage to stab him in the back before overpowering and capturing him. Meanwhile, in the woods, Grace encounters one of the cult members who grabs her. She fights back, striking him in the face and managing to break free. As she continues through the woods, she encounters more cultists, and experiences a disturbing vision of a man in a skull mask impregnating a woman on the forest floor before snapping back to reality. While running, Grace spots a house ahead and screams for help as she approaches. She bangs on the door, trying to get inside, but it remains shut. Hearing noises coming from the building's cellar, she ventures inside and discovers Jack chained to a wall. Suddenly, the cultists surround Grace once again, and the master reveals her true identity as Grace's real mother. She explains that Grace was born for the purpose of freeing the demon, but Grace struggles to believe her. The woman reveals that Grace is the first daughter of the Millennium Master, and the only one capable of saving the world from pain and suffering, including the cults, and insists that the ritual to free the demon must begin immediately. Forced to drink blood from a chalice, Grace's behavior becomes erratic. She screams and writhes on the floor as the cult members chant their ritual. Eventually, Grace is possessed by Uctina, the ancient demon. Using her newfound powers, the possessed Grace kills the cult master, and slaughters the remaining members with a supernatural scream. Now under the complete control of the demon, Grace approaches Jack while wielding a blade. Initially appearing affectionate, she suddenly stabs Jack to death. As morning arrives, the possessed Grace returns to Frank's house where she sees a childhood photo of herself with her mom. Walking outside, no longer bound to the plantation's land, Grace, entranced with white eyes, leaves the property as the film concludes. Okay guys, that's all the recap about The Long Night from 2022. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.